Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard your first-class trip to heaven. Now, we'll be serving refreshments in just a few minutes, and I know that you are all looking forward to our in-flight fellowship. We just have a little business to conduct before departure. Here at Good Shepherd, we pride ourselves on our commitment to comfort and safety. Now, I see that you found all your assigned seats, and I do thank you for making room for the choir and the altar party who do not have regular seats in the nave. Now, before we leave today, we do need to review a few safety procedures. I hope that when you sat down, you looked around to find the closest available exit. Did you? Well, let's do that now. We have 7 exterior doors. You may not know it, but we have one right over here. And we have one right over here. We also have those pretty red doors. We have a door in the nursery, a door in Doug's office, a door down the hallway. You okay? Yes. All right. And the door we usually use, which is the door to the parking lot.
Your exit may be behind you.
It might be, or it might be in front of you. Now, let's take a moment to look to your left, not mine, and to your right. If you are seated without access to the side aisles, you might want to rethink where you sit every week. If you do not have access to the side aisles, when we exit, please use the center aisle. If you can use the side aisles, please do. Now, take a moment to find the closest exit and your easiest route to that exit. Also, think about your next exit choice. Have a backup plan. Now, you may be wondering why we would even need to have an exit strategy, and we'll discuss that now. Folks, we use real flames here at Good Shepherd, and we have real people. So there is a small chance of fire. In the event of a fire, we need to know how to exit safely. In the event of a fire, please exit quickly and quietly. And I know you guys have trouble with that. But you need to be able to hear instructions given by our flight leaders. There are 8 fire extinguishers located throughout the building. Also on the back pew, we have a fire blanket back here. Now, in the event of turbulence or a tornado, please move quickly to the nearest designated room. The sacristy, the vesting room. That's over there. The choir room.
Choir vest there.
But we call it the choir room.
Okay.
The library and the utility room. These rooms do not have exterior windows. They do have exterior walls, but every room in this building has exterior walls. When those rooms are full, the true Texans will then go outside to watch for the arrival of the storm. Now, in the event of a disruptive passenger or an intruder, please follow the standard procedure of exiting, sheltering, or creating a distraction. Our choir makes a lot of noise, and we are very skilled in hymnal throwing. In a medical emergency, designated leaders will call 911. Our first aid kit and our AED are readily available. And all of our professional educators, raise your hands, and many others are trained in CPR. All others, feel free to sing along with the Bee Gees. And I was supposed to cue up Staying Alive, but you can hear it right now in your head, can't you? Now, before we take off, we're going to have a little test to see if you're ready for emergencies. And you raise your hand at the appropriate time now. Would you raise your hand if you will be using a side aisle, because you have access to a side aisle? Would you raise your hand if you have access, if you'll be using the center aisle? Would you raise your hand if you'll be using the door out to the garden? I would imagine that most of the people in the front right here would do that. Would you raise your hand if you would be using the door by the sacristy? Would you raise your hand if you would be using the red doors? And that would be the people in the back. Well, I feel like we are ready for departure. But before we leave, would you please stow your kneeler under the pew in front of you? Return the hymnals and the prayer books to their proper positions. And when you stand up, please take all of your belongings and your papers with you. Remember, we're always happy to see you here at Good Shepherd. Have a wonderful day. Thanks, and come again.